They said it was just a story, a myth whispered by travelers crossing the endless dunes, a bedtime tale meant to keep children from wandering into the desert. But every legend begins somewhere, doesn't it? Somewhere between truth and madness, between the breath of gods and the greed of men. This one started with a name that time tried to erase: Zahir. He was no hero, no king, just a man who refused to believe that legends die. And on the night when the moon bled into the sand, the legend became real. Zahir had heard the story all his life, about a lamp forged not by human hands, but by the will of something ancient, older than light itself. They said whoever touched it could reshape destiny, but they also said it demanded a price that no soul could bear. Most people laughed at the idea, but not him. He had seen the signs, the shifting stars, the sandstorms that moved against the wind, the whispers in the night that called his name. Something was waiting for him. For years he followed fragments, old maps, broken carvings, forbidden scriptures. Every clue led deeper into places where compasses spun madly and time itself seemed to hesitate. People who helped him vanished without a trace. Yet Zahir continued, consumed by the promise that the impossible could be touched. Until one night, a storm unlike any other swallowed the horizon. The ground trembled, the air burned, and when the sands parted, he saw it. A temple carved into the heart of the desert, glowing faintly under the dying moonlight. Inside, the silence was alive, the walls breathed, the air was thick with something older than sound. At the center of the chamber rested a single object, a lamp, tarnished by time but humming with power. It was beautiful and terrifying, a paradox forged in gold and shadow. Zahir reached out, trembling. The moment his fingers brushed the metal, the world stopped. His heart stuttered, the lamp opened its eye, and the legend exhaled. A voice erupted, not from the air, but from inside his skull. It spoke in every language and none at all. It asked a question that split his soul in two. What do you desire? Zahir tried to speak, but his thoughts betrayed him. Images flooded his mind: wealth, power, revenge, love, eternity. The voice laughed softly, as if it already knew. It promised everything and warned of nothing. And then the darkness moved. Smoke poured from the lamp, but this was no ordinary genie. It was not blue, nor kind. It was endless, a being made of memory, regret, and rage. Its eyes burned like collapsing stars. It bowed not out of respect, but mockery. Your wish, it whispered, is my hunger. Zahir's heart pounded. He felt every drop of blood scream against the truth he now faced. Legends don't grant wishes. They consume those who believe in them. Still, he couldn't stop. The hunger to know, to possess, overpowered fear. He asked for what every mortal secretly craves: to never die. The creature smiled, and the world inverted. His body froze, his soul twisted, and every heartbeat stretched into infinity. When his eyes opened again, centuries had passed. Empires had risen and fallen, and the desert had reclaimed them all. But Zahir remained, immortal, alone, bound to the very thing he desired. The lamp no longer shimmered, it pulsed like a heart. And now he was part of it, a prisoner inside the myth he once chased. Travelers who stumble upon it say they can hear whispers in the sand, pleading, warning them to turn back. Some say they see a figure standing under the moon, holding something that glows like a dying star. No one ever returns with proof, only stories, stories that sound like lies until they start to repeat themselves across generations. And so the legend breathes again. Every time someone speaks of it, it awakens, waiting for the next soul desperate enough to believe. Because that is the truth buried beneath every myth. Belief gives it life. And the moment you believe, it becomes real. Maybe that's why you're still watching, wondering if it could happen to you. Maybe that's why your reflection seems to flicker when you whisper the word, lamp. Don't, because it listens. Zahir still waits, trapped in an endless circle of desire and regret, watching centuries crumble around him. The genie, if that's what it was, feeds on every retelling, every curious glance at the night sky. The more people remember, the stronger it grows. That is how legends survive, not in temples or tombs, but in the minds of those who crave more than reality can offer. So what happens when the legend becomes reality? The world doesn't explode, it doesn't scream, it simply changes you. It pulls you into a truth you can't escape, that every wish has a cost, and every story hides a warning. Zahir learned too late that what we call magic is just the universe remembering who listens too closely. And tonight, as the winds rise again over the desert, maybe it remembers you. If you ever feel the air shift while you watch this, if the light near you flickers just a bit, don't panic. It means the story found you. It means you believed, even for a second. And that's enough, because that's how it begins. Every legend, every curse, every truth hidden beneath the sand. One spark of curiosity, one whispered name, one belief too strong to die. So, tell me, do you still think it's just a story? If you do, leave a comment below. Or maybe share what you would wish for if you ever found that lamp. But maybe share what you would wish for if your lights start to flicker tonight. Maybe don't. Maybe let the legend sleep. Because once it wakes, it never forgets. And if you're still here, hit the like button, subscribe. And remember, some stories aren't meant to be told twice.